Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Police told Kim Zolciak to stop calling. Isn't an emergency. Police have told RHOA alum Kim Zolciak to stop calling because, at this point, it is not an emergency. The mother of 6 is embroiled in a divorce with her husband of over a decade, Kroy Bierman. Yet things have been so dramatic that the cops are always being called. So why did the authorities tell Kim to calm down on the calls? Keep reading for more details. For a decade, Kim Zolciak and Kroy Bierman were an extremely happy couple. He had adopted her 2 older daughters, Brielle and Ariana, from her previous relationships. They then went on to have 4 children of their own and had the perfect little family. Unfortunately, Kim loved to gamble and shop, leading to financial distress. In 2022, their lavish Georgia mansion faced foreclosure, but they dodged it until early 2023. Then it all resurfaced, and they faced an auction. Once again, they were able to get out of that, but a short time later, they filed for divorce. Allegations were thrown at one another, and though they tried to reconcile, that did not last. The police were soon called to their home, becoming a repeated event. She alleged he would not let her leave their driveway while he was at the end of his rope. They were locking themselves into bedrooms, and their poor minor children were the casualties. Just before Thanksgiving, the police were called yet again. Since their home is headed to auction, they were packing and taking down the curtains. Kim Zolciak claimed Kroy Bierman was the aggressor, but he alleged she struck him. Their children could not necessarily corroborate Kim's story, but the police want Kim to stop. A Reddit thread was started to share how they had to let Kim know they could not keep coming to Kim's home simply because of divorce spats. Followers felt awful for the children, but moreover, could not believe this was still happening. The big question that followers want to know is whether will it ever end for Kim Zolciak and Kroy Bierman. This has been going on for nearly 2 years with no end in sight. I can't believe this is still ongoing. I think there is some weird-ass codependency and trauma bonding with them at this point. Any relationship she has ever been in or will ever be in will end this way. She is a terrible person. It took Kroy a very, very long time to figure it out. The level of selfishness exhibited by these two, who have like 6 children, is despicable. Quit calling the police over this petty crap. Grow up and act like adults. Hopefully, some resolution is reached so that they all can find peace and the children stop getting dragged into the drama. Do you agree that the police are not needed as mediators and Kim and Kroy need to work this out as adults? Finally, can you believe their divorce is still going on? Let us know in the comments below. Police told Kim Zolciak to stop calling. Isn't an emergency. In a bizarre and unexpected twist, reality TV star Kim Zolciak, known for her appearances on The Real Housewives of Atlanta and her own show Don't Be Tardy, found herself on the receiving end of a rather unusual piece of advice. Stop calling. It's not an emergency. This came after a string of calls to 911 that had little to do with true emergencies, leaving police officers baffled and perplexed. Kim, who has made her name in the spotlight through her glamorous lifestyle, family drama, and outspoken personality, has always attracted attention, whether it's for her extravagant lifestyle or her sometimes controversial comments. However, her recent run-ins with the law have garnered even more focus, though not for the reasons one might expect. A series of unusual calls. It all began on a quiet Tuesday afternoon, when Kim Zolciak dialed 911 in a state of distress. According to reports, Kim had been facing what she considered an urgent situation. She claimed that her pets were misbehaving, tearing up furniture, and causing chaos in her home. What followed was an interaction that left the 911 dispatcher speechless. "I just need help. These animals are out of control," Kim reportedly told the dispatcher, who, after asking several questions, realized the issue was a misbehaving dog and not a life-or-death situation. While animal control might have been the better option for Kim, the dispatcher, adhering to protocol, tried to calmly explain that her call didn't meet the criteria for an emergency. But the reality star insisted that it was urgent, leading the dispatcher to inform Kim that 911 was for actual emergencies, like fires, medical crises, or criminal activity. Kim, still seemingly unaware of the severity of the situation, continued to plead her case, which only added to the isolated incident. Over the course of the following weeks, Kim reportedly called emergency services multiple times for other seemingly trivial concerns, ranging from minor home repairs to a broken nail. Each time, police officers would arrive on the scene, only to find that no true emergency was unfolding. The fallout. The media quickly picked up on the story, and what began as a quirky headline soon spiraled into a full-blown public spectacle. Kim's 911 calls were played on news programs, with commentators and fellow celebrities offering their own take on the situation. Some saw it as a humorous lapse in judgment, while others questioned whether the reality star's actions were indicative of a deeper issue. Kim, not one to shy away from attention, addressed the media frenzy with her characteristic blend of humor and deflection. In an Instagram post, she wrote, "I guess the dogs really are out of control. But don't worry. I've got it handled, kind of. Hashtag Janatha crazy." While her followers seemed to find her post entertaining, some were concerned about her behavior. How could someone as well known as Kim Zolciak make such calls, especially when it could tie up emergency services who were needed elsewhere? In response to the mounting criticism, local police issued a statement reminding the public of the proper use of emergency services. 911 is a vital resource, and it's imperative that it be used for true emergencies. The statement read, "We ask that individuals reserve their calls for situations where lives are at risk or immediate intervention is required." For her part, Kim made no formal apology. Instead, she chose to poke fun at the situation, tweeting, "I'm just trying to keep it exciting. Who knew 911 was so serious? Hashtag live and let live." The larger context. While Kim's antics made for entertaining headlines, the incident raised important questions about the misuse of emergency services in the digital age. Celebrities like Kim Zolciak often live in an exaggerated reality where their every need is met instantly, and the line between the urgent and the trivial becomes blurred. For Kim, a broken nail or unruly pets might feel like an emergency in the moment, but for the people who truly need help, time wasted on frivolous calls can have grave consequences. The issue also sheds light on the way celebrities interact with public services. When you're famous, the normal boundaries of responsibility and etiquette can sometimes get lost in the shuffle. For someone like Kim, whose public persona is built on drama and chaos, her perception of urgent needs can be vastly different from those of the average person. It's not hard to imagine that, for Kim, the drama of the moment is what fuels her attention-seeking behavior. But at what point does this go too far? While Kim's personal brand thrives on creating headlines, the real world operates on a different set of rules, especially when it comes to public safety. A wake-up call. As the dust began to settle and the jokes turned to serious discussions about the responsibility that comes with fame, Kim Zolciak found herself facing a difficult decision. Learn from the experience or continue down the same path. Though it seemed that Kim was taking everything in stride, the backlash was starting to add up. There were whispers that Kim would be taking a step back from the spotlight to reflect on her actions. Though many in the public doubted she would ever change her ways, there were those who hoped that this was a turning point for the reality star. Whether or not she would heed the advice given by law enforcement remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: this incident served as a reminder to everyone that 911 is not a hotline for minor annoyances. In conclusion, Kim Zolciak's run-in with the law didn't result in any lasting consequences, but it did spark a broader conversation about the need for responsibility in our use of public services. While Kim may not have seen the severity of the situation, it's clear that this was a wake-up call for both her and her fans. The reality star has long been a figure of controversy, and her missteps on this occasion are just another chapter in her colorful career. But maybe, just maybe, Kim Zolciak will take the advice she was given and learn that sometimes a broken nail is best dealt with at the nail salon, not by calling 911. The saga of Kim Zolciak and the 911 calls may have ended in laughter, but it also left behind an important reminder. There's a fine line between entertaining chaos and taking responsibility. Kim might not have realized it at first, but the true emergency here was the overuse of emergency services. And that's one issue the world of reality TV can't gloss over.